Welcome back to Black Girl from Brick City, guys. I missed you. It's your girl Ace with a Y, and I'm the host, and I'm super excited to be speaking with you guys this week. If you're new to this channel or this podcast, welcome to AYCEgang, where we really don't gang bang. I speak about spirituality, my journey as a woman, how I've been a lot of self-empowerment and just positivity over here. We just love the positive energy over here. And if you're a returning AYCEgang, shout out to you. Thank you for supporting. I appreciate you so much. I know we missed last week, guys, but I had an amazing time being present with my family. My little sister's birthday, I went over there to New Jersey and spent time with my cousins and my sisters and my mother. It was just an amazing time. And as much as I really wanted to come and give you guys an episode, I just really wanted to be present with them. So guys, we're back. Episode 19. Okay, we're here. It's a lot going on in this world. You got people talking about Ukraine and Russia, prayers up for the people of Ukraine. Russia is just bugging right now. And here we are, United States. Of course, we cannot mind our business. So that's one thing. Another thing is the gas prices are like ridiculous. Like, thank you, Joe. Like, you really just killing us right now. Like, why do we vote for him? If you voted for him. I voted for him, and because I just didn't think that Trump was the best president. And girl, I'm trying to figure out why I did it. Why did I vote for him? I might as well have went to Trump. He would have never done this to us. It's like, nah, girl, Trump was crazy. Gas prices in California right now are like $7. It's like $7. And child, the only gas station in the country where I'm at right now is about $5. So your girl been riding her bike and working out from home. Amen. Like, yeah, we got funds, but we ain't giving them back those funds. They really just want to get their stimulus money back. And it ain't happening to me. It ain't happening with me. I'm going to walk. I'm going to ride my bike. Amen. I'm going to stay home as much as I can. But I hope you guys, through all the chaos, through all the grocery inflations, like bacon is $12, all of that foolishness, I hope that inside, internally, that you have joy, that you have peace, that you feel grounded. And listen, remember, everything can be going crazy around us, but we are not of this world over here at AYCEgang, okay? We have peace inside of us. We have an everlasting joy inside of us that no matter what goes wrong around us in this chaotic, demonic world, okay, that we are able to come back and center ourselves and be at peace with ourselves. So I hope that is how you feel. If not, girl, what you doing? Let's work on that. Let's get there. Okay, it's 2022. But this week, episode 19, guys, can you believe we're almost at episode 20? I'm so happy to be speaking with you guys, y'all. I know I say excited a lot, but it's a part of my vocabulary now. I no longer speak I'm sad, I'm down, I'm blue, I'm gloomy. No, I speak excited. I'm always saying I'm excited, I'm joyful, I'm ready, I'm That's how I be feeling sometimes, like Anyway, I'm probably a little excited, too excited for this episode, but it's something that I've learned how to do, and I just want to introduce it to the listeners. And maybe if you are not already aware, you'll be made aware. So this episode, I'm speaking about changing the conversation with yourself, with you. Changing the conversation with you. How do you speak to yourself? When you mess up, how does that conversation go with yourself? Do you immediately be like, girl, you are so dumb. You are so stupid. What are you doing? Look at you, girl. Like, you're failing. Do you speak to yourself in a rough tone? Do you not show yourself any mercy? And when I spoke about this, I thought about how I spoke to myself prior to me changing it. And it usually went something like this. Maybe I'll make a mistake or whatever, or I'll do something wrong, and I would literally tell myself, like, girl, you are a failure. What are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And raise your hand if you relate. Raise your hand, and if you don't want to raise your hand, just nod your head, because we've all been there. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling to yourself when you're basically your own worst enemy. So before I even get into that, I want to ask you a couple of questions. As you're listening, I just want you to think about the answers and think about the questions. The first question is, when you were growing up, Did people yell at you a lot? Like, were you always yelled at? It was always anger when you brought up maybe a tough conversation to your parents or adults in your life. It was always met with criticism or, anger. Were you frequently told you wouldn't be successful at something that you felt like you were really good at? They told you you'll never do that. You'll never be successful. No, girl, you're doing that. That's dumb. You're not gonna get anywhere doing that. Did that happen a lot? Another question is, were you always deemed wrong in situations where you knew you were right? So there would be situations where you knew in your mind that you were right. You knew you didn't do anything wrong, but maybe an adult in your life or a parent or a parent figure would always make you wrong in those situations just so they could be right. Right? Raise your hand. Just silently raise your hand if these are yeses. Another thing. Were you physically, emotionally, or mentally abused as a child? Now, if you answered yes to any of these questions, 9 times out of 10, you probably don't have the best conversations or relationships with yourself. When you grow up and you're just so used to negativity and you're just so used to aggressive tones, that's something that you become used to. When I was growing up, I wasn't really met with a lot of aggression, but on my Haitian side, definitely was met with a lot of aggression and yelling. And us Caribbean kids, we know, us Caribbean adults, I'm sorry, we are not children anymore, y'all. If you were raised specifically by like Caribbean culture, African parents, really strict, really parents, you know what I'm saying? And I can only speak for myself. Haitian moms, y'all, we love y'all. But growing up, y'all was y'all could have toned it down just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I understand more now though. I understand my mother more now. I understand my Haitian aunts and uncles, the way they spoke to us, the way they yelled, the way they couldn't really communicate properly with us. I understand that it was because they were raised in that tone. They were yelled at. They were told, that they had to be that strong type of woman. So what I had to realize is that I can't change the way that my childhood was. I can't change the way I was spoken to as a child, but I can definitely change the way I speak to myself, and I can change how I speak to the generations that come after me. So I just wanted to really bring this up because, a lot of us, we don't even need people to bash us. We don't even need people to tear us down. We really don't, because we do it all by ourselves, all in our minds. We beat ourselves down, we self-sabotage, we doubt, and I just really wanted to get deep into that because this is something that has really caused me to really ruin a lot of opportunities, ruin a lot of relationships because I was just so aggressive. I was just so wrong, okay? I was wrong in the way I was approaching others, and that was only because I was definitely not approaching myself in the best way. And y'all, I've told you about this book before, but again, I'm reading the 4 Agreements. I'll put a picture here, guys, but it said this quote, and I think this is so true. Listen to this. It says, in your whole life, nobody has ever abused you. Not the truck. Hold up. It says, in your whole life, nobody has ever abused you more than you have abused yourself. And the limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit that you will tolerate from someone else. If someone else abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you'll probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in that relationship or situation and tolerate it endlessly. Another truck? Y'all, they killing me today. But wow. Sounds simple, but it's really complicated when you're in that moment because you don't want to think that someone is really abusing you or treating you bad. But then most of the things that we are okay with, most of the times when we are okay with something, it's because that we feel like we deserve that. I used to hear the quote all the time. People only gonna do what you allow. And I never really understood that quote because I'm like, I have nothing to do with how people treat me. That's them. Like, they shouldn't do that. But honestly, y'all, here on Black Girl from Brick City, we are self-aware. Honestly, if you think about it, if someone is treating you terribly, 9 times out of 10, you're treating yourself terribly. Because if you are walking in your purpose, if you are a boss woman, if you take care of yourself, you pay your bills, you eat right, and then you got this man, or, you know, my fellas, if you got this woman and they just come and they just ruin that for you. They got you eating McDonald's or whatever. They got you can't sleep at night. You know, you start to feel like you're not how you usually are. 9 times out of 10, you'll walk away. But if you aren't working in your purpose, if you aren't doing the things that you're supposed to do, you'll feel comfortable in that because it's just, that's how you're treating yourself. And it really changed me when I read that because I thought to myself, when I was reading this book, I was in a certain situation where I'm like, okay, let me really dive deep into how I'm speaking to myself. What about me is lacking that I'm allowing this person to call me out of my name, to disrespect me, to make me feel worthless? What about me is identifying with what they're trying to project to me? Like, what is the attachment? And I had to keep it real with myself. I didn't want to be alone. Okay? That could be a whole episode in itself, learning how to be alone, because you can't learn how to be alone if you don't have good conversations with yourself. Because the moment you get alone is the moment that the devil can really torment you. You can really, you can put yourself in a depression when you're alone, when you don't have a good relationship with yourself. So that's why it's so important, guys, to build yourself up in private. Build yourself up alone. Be okay with doing little things in your house, in your home. And when I say learning how to be alone, when I was first learning how to be alone, I'm not talking about just laying in bed, binge watching Netflix. No. I'm talking about getting out there in that world and seeing what you like to do on your own. No one had to come and say, let's do this. Oh, let's go rock climbing. Oh, let's go here. As much as it's amazing to have a group of friends or a great man, a great woman next to you to do these things, if you don't wake up and you don't feel excited to do these things on your own, then you're not happy with yourself. You're not happy. You're not okay with being alone. So once you change the conversation with yourself, it would definitely be easier to connect with yourself. Another thing that book showed me was that, like, never stay with someone who treats you worse than you treat yourself. It's like, what? Like, nigga, I love myself, so you're not loving me, I'm out. One thing about me, everybody used to talk about me, right? They used to say, well, they probably still do say, they used to be like, Ace is always in a relationship. She's always leaving men, switching up men. Like, every time she has a boyfriend, they break up. Next year, she has another boyfriend. And at one point, I used to get really offended by that because I'm like, damn, like, I'm just dating. Like, and then they don't even know why we broke up. But damn, like, I can't defend myself because I really was, like, in a relationship all the time. And that was because I loved being in a relationship, but I didn't love being in a relationship with myself. And that was the problem. But one thing I love about myself, no matter what I was going through, if somebody doesn't treat me the same or better than I treat myself, I leave. I leave the relationship. I leave the job. I leave the friendship. I leave because you're abusing me. Hello. Why would I stay? And a lot of the times when I used to leave relationships, the man would be like, you giving up on me. Like, I'm not leaving. Of course you're not leaving because I'm giving you all of me. Why would you leave? I'm giving you support. I'm giving you love. I'm giving you stability. I'm giving you safety. I'm giving you everything. Of course you're not going to leave. I'm the one. I'm the one in personal hell with you. I'm the one being depleted. I'm the one losing everything dealing with you. So I'm out. And, you know, I had to go. And I appreciate that about myself because I know a lot of people, it don't matter how bad the relationship get, they still there. The man could, y'all don't even know the half of what women really go through. You don't even know the half of what women really go through. I'm going to just say that. But know this. Unconditional love is not the same as unconditional tolerance, okay? If a person loves you, yes, there will be hard times, but they love you. So it will always be safe. It will always be stable. It will always provide you security because that's love. If it doesn't, it's not love. So yes, I was always in relationships. Yes, people was always talking about me like, oh, she's out here. But one thing about me, I left. If it no longer served me, if it was abusive, it was going downhill, as they say. It could be good in the beginning. Yeah. I may put a picture on Instagram of us. But if it's gone, I'm not going to fake it. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm leaving. That was one of the ways that I worked on loving myself. Loving myself because I didn't allow anyone, any job. Listen, it don't even got to be about relationships. But here we talk about it all. Anything that did not make me feel the way I make myself feel, skedaddle, skirt, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I left those situations because 9 times out of 10, those situations that I left, they knew that they weren't treating me right. They knew that it wasn't fair on me, but they didn't care. And that's the thing. When you were raised and people, yelled at you, and people treated you bad, people say all the time you're not going to make it. They don't care how that makes you feel. They don't care how that makes you feel. But one thing that you need to remember, you need to care about how you feel. Because out here, nobody's going to care. They're going to get what they can out of you. Okay? They're going to make you feel how they feel. Because if you are a secure person, and I said this before in my episode, but I'm going to say it again. If you are happy with yourself, if you are, if you are secure within yourself, you don't have time to make the person that you laying with every night feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that. You are a happy man or a happy woman. You don't have time, or you don't even feel good. You don't even feel right making your spouse or your partner feel bad before they go to sleep. But a lot of the times, I had to realize that some people don't love you. They just love the way that you love them. And that'd be the worst realization, yo. But then I had to tell myself, I don't care who love me. I don't care who don't love me. I love me. And when I made that decision, I stopped self-sabotaging. And if you don't know what self-sabotaging is, I'm going to let you know. When people take destructive steps that can negatively impact nearly every part of their lives, including their relationships and careers. You ever met that person, or have you ever been that person? You know that something important is coming up. You have a big meeting or something. You have a big promotion opportunity. But you self-sabotage by getting drunk the night before and oversleeping, so you don't have to go there. You don't even have to go there anymore. And it's like, oh, the pressure's off. I didn't even do it. But you just sabotaged the opportunity that could have made you better. That could have put you in a better position. And some people, they don't do this on purpose. They're just literally scared of success. So they ruin it for themselves. And I'm not going to lie. I've had my self-sabotaging moments. Like, I've had moments where I could have done a big show, or I could have had an opportunity with a major artist, but I was so intimidated, like, wow, I don't have enough songs. I don't have enough visuals. Like, I don't have enough followers. So I'll just never reply to the DM. Keep it real, y'all. Keep it real. Like, this is real stuff. Like, it's called self-sabotaging. You don't have to have nobody come and try to ruin things for you. You're doing it all by yourself. You're ruining things for yourself. If you're talking about a relationship, say you were in a terrible relationship, right? Then you find yourself in a new relationship. It's great. You're like, oh, this don't even feel right. Like, why he just so nice? Why he just doing everything right? He must be up to something. So you try to find some way to ruin it. You start being crazy, going through his phone. He looking at you like, that's my mom. Why are you calling my mom? My mom, asking her who she is. You know what I'm saying? You just ruined a new situation because you were so scared of it being great that you had to ruin it for yourself. And we don't want that anymore. Right now, I just want you to lift your hands and say, I rebuke the spirit of self-sabotage right now. I rebuke it. I want nothing to do with it, and it has nothing to do with me anymore. And a lot of the times, you know, when you're self-sabotaging, it really comes from a place of low self-esteem, insecurities. We had an episode 18, when I was speaking about working on your insecurities. And, you know, all of these things are always tied into how you feel or the relationship you have with yourself. Because secure people, they don't even chase, they go after those hard things. They go after those hard conversations. They love new opportunities. You know what I'm saying? That's where I wanted to get to. And with patience and with these few steps, I was able to change the conversation with myself. So number one, what I did to change this conversation with myself, I started doing affirmations. Now, I'm not sure if you heard about affirmations, but I do speak about affirmations all the time on my channel, on my podcast. Affirmations are a way to motivate yourself, okay? I am strong. I am powerful. I am smart. I can do all things. Along with my affirmations, I'm a child of Christ, so I hit those scriptures. And I'm just going to go real quick to see the favorite scriptures that I use while I'm trying to build myself up. Along with my affirmations, I use scriptures. One of my favorite scriptures is Philippians 4:6. And it says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank him for all he has done. That is one of the scriptures that I use when I'm just feeling so like, oh my God, what am I going to do next? Where's the next studio session? How can I do this? How can I do this? People are expecting, God says, don't worry about anything. Pray about it. Tell me what you need and thank me for all I've already done. The scriptures are so powerful and relevant for real life, for our life. Just think about how many people worry every single day. This vaccine, diseases, like I was speaking about before we even started, war, gas prices, so many worries. But God is telling us, stop worrying. Stop trying to figure it out on your own. Tell me what you need and thank me for what I've already done. So basically, you've already told God in some sense, think about it. You've already told him something that you needed before and it was done. Maybe you needed to get out of a job that was not good for you and it was done. Maybe you need to get out of a relationship that was not good for you and it was done. So what makes you think he can't do this new thing that you need him to do? What makes you think he can't get you this new opportunity that you're so scared to do, that you're doubting yourself? It's already done. So anything else that you need can be done as well. That's one thing that I do. The scriptures really keep me grounded. It feels like I'm giving myself life and water when I read those scriptures. Another thing that I do is practice it. Practice speaking to yourself in those moments, in the moment. So don't just think about it when you're in a good mood. Of course, you're going to speak good to yourself when you're in a good mood. Girl, you're in a good mood. But think about those moments when you are low. When you have your next moment when you don't feel right, when something is not good, maybe you made a mistake, maybe you messed up. Those are the moments that you want to practice speaking kind to yourself, being kind to yourself, being mindful to yourself. Okay? You need to say, you know what, girl? I know you messed up. This is really bad, girl. Like you messed up, girl. Even laugh a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Call me crazy. But when I mess up, sometimes I really just laugh. Like, all right. So the last relationship that I was in, this man that I was talking to or whatever, when it finally was time for us to really end, I didn't even cry. I didn't even get sad. I literally laughed because one, a part of myself already knew that I wasn't supposed to be with this man. So I'm not about to cry over things that I already knew from jump wasn't for me. That's one. Stop getting sad over things you already know not for you. You're just hurting yourself. But that's one. Two, I think I laughed more so because I just know God is going to provide. I just have this self-confidence now that no matter who leaves, I'm good. Okay? That's why you just got to laugh sometimes. We could just say, it's not that serious. Like, these things that we just take like it's the end of the world, like it's life-shattering, you know what I'm saying? Breakups, you get fired. Yes, it's terrible, but tough times don't last always, girl, okay? So just laugh. Try laughing. Yes, when you're dealing with a certain tragedy, maybe, you're dealing with a death, or you're dealing with something that's like eviction, like your whole family, like something major, big, of course you're not going to have any type of strength to laugh. But you really need to remember in those moments that is when you need to be the most kind to yourself, because everything else is already against you. So why would you choose that moment to be against yourself, right? So I say that to say this. I practiced a lot, and I practiced in real situations. Again, when we broke up, I didn't even get sad. I just said, Ashley, I love you. Don't worry about who don't love you. Don't worry about him saying he don't love you no more, or he was faking. Listen, you not faking with yourself. You love yourself, so you good, girl. You good. Or when I got fired from my job, I said, you know what? They fired me, but I'm amazing. I'm gonna find another job, or I'm gonna start my own business. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna work on me. I'm gonna whatever it is for you. Be kind to yourself. Think about how you treat yourself when you're around certain people that you respect, right? Say you're around your pastor, you go to church. When you're around your pastor, oh, amen, blessings, pastor, God is so good. Oh, that word was good today. Yes, I felt it in my heart. It's so soft, right? You're happy, you're joyful, you're finding little jokes. But yeah, say like you're in school and you're trying to, make a relationship with your professor, and you're introducing yourself. You don't start out by saying, hey, yo, I'm a shitty person. I don't even like school. I don't know this. I ain't going to do it. So you might as well fail me now. Now, don't get me wrong. You do have some people that they're so done. They're so far away from self-awareness and where we are over here that they just might go up to a professor and say, yo, bro, I don't care if you fail me or not. I don't even want to be here, honestly. The state paid for me to go here. You know what I'm saying? But we don't associate with that. We don't associate with people like that. People like that have already given up on life. They're going to have to go through their own journey to get here. But for those who want to break those generational curses, want to break those curses off their life, want to break those patterns, those negative behaviors, we focus on that. We don't focus on them. Anyway, again, how do you treat yourself when you're around people that you respect? You treat yourself great, right? You speak highly of yourself. You show yourself in the best light. So why is it that when you're behind closed doors and you're by yourself, that you're treating yourself terribly? It's because you don't respect yourself. So what I would say is learn how to respect yourself. Do little things to show respect for yourself. Like, hey, I'm not going to do this because I respect myself. So I'm going to eat better because I want my body to be just as healthy as I look on the outside. Okay? I want my internal to be just as happy as I feel on the outside. I'll be coming on here, like, giving my experiences, but I don't really know, like, the science of things. Like, there are people out here with mental issues, y'all. And words like this really are going to fall on deaf ears because you have to do the inner work by yourself. Like, there's no podcast, there's no Instagram reel that can get you to love yourself if you are not healed, if you don't make that conscious decision to heal yourself. Like, I was talking to my best friend the other day, and she was saying, like, listen, I could pray for whoever she was praying for. I could pray for them until my face turns blue. But if they don't make that conscious decision to say, God, I thank you. God, I want you in my life. God, I need help. Or find help however they find help. What is my prayers going to do? Right? And I told her, I said, listen, what we can do is intercede for people. You can intercede for people. Oh, and my other friend was saying this too. God, I thank you for a praying circle. That's first of all. But my other friend was telling me this too, because I started feeling frustrated with a certain family member who I just kept trying to speak life into their situation. I'm speaking life. I'm telling them, like, yo, you deserve better than this. Why are you doing this? Why are you in this? Like, think about your da-da-da-da-da. And I just felt like they weren't receiving it how I wanted them to receive it. And my friend had to check me. She was just basically like, listen, Ace, like, you can pray for people. You can speak life into people, but it's God's job to change them. It's God's job to move on their behalf. It's not your job to change them. And I said, okay, girl, thanks for checking me. Because I started getting to my old ways. I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to send them no more life. I'm not going to send them no more paragraphs. Like, I'm just done. Like, I'm frustrated. But that's not of God. That's not me doing it from a place of love. if they're not changing at my rate on my terms, that's not of love. What I should do is I should keep giving them life, keep speaking them life, but then take my hands off of it and leave it to God. Take my hands off of it and leave it to God. You know, you may have somebody in your life who's just so toxic to themselves. They probably not even in a toxic relationship or in a job. Maybe they just keep complaining. Girl, I've been working at McDonald's for 13 years. I'm so sick of it. This lady is this. I'm about to fight. And you just sick of hearing it. You like, yo, I done prayed for you to get a new job. God done gave you permission to get a new job, but you still complaining. You still want to be comfortable at that job. And you may start getting mad. You know, because when you're on a self-journey, when you're on a self-healing journey, we tend to forget how it was when we were stuck in that rut, when we were stuck in that place of toxicity. And that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever want to be that person that has, you know, on my healing journey, I'm learning more things. I'm learning how to be a better person, but then I'm looking down, or not even looking down. I'm just like trying to speed everybody's process up because I'm here. That's not fair to do to people. So I say that to say, like, we all deserve patience. We all deserve patience. And even if you feel like you are ahead of the game, remember that time that you weren't. Okay? Remember that time that you weren't. Remember that time when you were in that relationship still going back. Okay? Just because you left, don't be looking at your homegirl who's still going back to her ex like she's wrong or she's not doing life right because you were there. If you get a better job, don't be looking at your cousin who's still working at McDonald's and still complaining about it and don't want to go further in her career because you were there. So everything that you learn, every way that you learn how to be a better person, all these things, yes, you can share it, but people are going to take it how they take it, and people are going to have their own journeys. So I'm going to wrap that up. Guys, I hope that this conversation, I hope that this topic, I hope that this episode helped you in any way. If it did, I hope that you like, what they say? Share, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah. And for my podcast listeners listening on Apple Music or Google, leave a comment if you enjoy these topics. I love speaking with you guys. But yeah, I want you guys to really think about how you speak to yourself this week. If you have a deadline, if you have a goal, try to change how you're speaking to yourself. Instead of saying, I can't do that, too much stuff is going on. Say, how can I find a way to do that? And for my Christ-like followers, God, I leave it to you. God, I know that I'm doing what I have to do. So now I'm going to wait on you. I'm going to wait on you to show me that this can happen. And even speaking to yourself like that is powerful. That is powerful because now you are giving God room to move and you are having faith in him. You're not even putting all that stress and drama on yourself. You're not negatively speaking to yourself. Now you are releasing it. And watch how many blessings come pouring in when you make room for them. Right? So that's my conversation, guys. I hope and pray that you have a better relationship with yourself, that you find a way to speak life into yourself and speak life into those people around you. Speak life to those people who may not be in the best mental state. Okay, they need to hear it just as much as you needed to hear it. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Black Girl from Brick City. I'm your girl Ace, and I hope you have a great week. Bye. I gotta peek through the window. Black girl, gotta watch what I'm into. Black girl, you don't know what I've been through. Dark skin, got 'em feeling so fearful.